The department feels that we can contribute to your businesses in three ways. Firstly, by the provision of some services. Secondly, by the provision of resources to you. And thirdly, and probably most importantly to you, we can contribute financially to the development of your business. My involvement in the department is with the employment services side of the department, and I'm based in the branch office in Friary Street with Linda Bradfield and her team. We also work very closely with our colleagues in the local employment services, Niamh Cooney and her colleagues, in the delivery of certain services across the county. The employment services function was previously undertaken by FOS. That is now completely integrated into the Dept.of Social Protection. So we're in a position to sort of offer a one-stop shop operation. When somebody makes a claim for job seekers, they're now also put in touch with the employment services side of the house. So there's a continuous engagement with job seekers, and that allows us to build up a database of the skills and quality and experiences of job seekers. The first service that I believe that we can offer you is help with your recruitment, and we can do that to you at no cost. The department maintains the Jobs Ireland website. You as employers can advertise your vacancies free of charge on that site. Everything now with the department can be done online. This site is jobsireland.ie. And one of the benefits of engaging with job seekers and the build-up of the database of their skills and experiences is that it allows us to do job matching exercises, so that if you post your vacancy on Jobs Ireland, we would routinely write to people on our database and listen, a job for an electrician has been advertised in Dungarvan. It may be of interest to you. These are the terms and conditions. This is the job offer. This is how you apply. And one other thing that we can do, which may not be aware of and might be of interest to you, is that we can, when you're involved in the recruitment process, we can screen the applications for us. Rather than you sort of be deluged with sort of a load of phone calls and CVs and things like that, you can have the applications directed to ourselves at the branch office in Dungarvan. We will screen. You decide who you want to call for interview. We will communicate with those who are not called for interview. There is another service that we can offer that you may not be aware of. It's called, we are linked into the European Employment Services service, which is, I describe it as a Europe-wide Jobs Ireland. And that can be very useful to employers who are looking to recruit in sectors where they find it hard to find suitable staff. It might be in the IT sector, it might be in areas where particular language skills are required, or some very highly technical skills are required. And it may be necessary to source recruits from outside the country. We have a colleague who specialises in linking into that service. Edward Kavanagh is my colleague who's based out of our office in Waterford. So if you need any help sort of in that regard, certainly we are happy to help. We can offer you assistance in providing resources with employee experience programs, and the principal one among that is the National Internship Scheme, JobBridge Ireland. Again, it's a very easy process to get involved with. Everything can be done online for both host organisation and intern. And the JobBridge programme has great merits in that it is providing meaningful work experience for principally young entrants, young qualified entrants to the jobs market. Might have the qualifications, but you as employers are reluctant to take them on because they have no work experience. The JobBridge programme lasts for either 6 months or 9 months. It provides an opportunity for them to gain relevant work experience. It also allows you to identify possible sources of new staff. Also, the whole process generally involves people who are very committed to job seeking and are looking to get ahead with themselves. I think an important thing to remember is that when you're engaged in the JobBridge programme, you're not engaged in a contract of employment with your intern. There's absolutely no cost to you in the programme. The intern, for participating in the programme, the intern receives their job seekers payment plus an additional 50 euros a week. And there is some local evidence that attests to the success or the quality of JobBridge, and that is in no small way due to the participation of host organisations and the interns. As an exercise for today's part of what we would do in the employment services is that we conduct what we call JobBridge monitors, and where we go out, we visit the host organisation. You notice that you're deliberately called host organisations, not employers for the process, and the intern, to check that everything is going well. Of a total of 30 JobBridge monitors that I did through 2014, 7 were with public bodies, local authorities and things like that. So the prospect of employment, given the recruitment embargoes and things like that, wasn't a possibility. But of 23 internships in the private sector, 15 have translated into jobs at the end of the internships. That's a figure of close to 65%. More than 6 out of 10 interns moving on to substantial levels of work, and mostly full-time jobs. The third area that we can be of assistance to you is in actually providing finance to you in terms of recruiting staff. For that, we have a scheme, Jobs Plus. Jobs Plus was introduced in summer of 2013 and provides financial incentives for you as employers to fill existing vacancies or add to your numbers by recruiting staff from the live register, where you are filling an existing vacancy or you're adding to your numbers, and you take on somebody who from the live register and they have been on the live register for between 1 and 2 years, you will get a contribution of 7,500 euros towards the cost of the wages spread over a 2-year period. The equivalent of a contribution of 72 euros a week towards the cost of the person's wages. If you take somebody who has been 2 years on the live register, 2 years or longer, that figure goes up to 10,000, which is, when you convert it to a weekly figure, it's approximately 96 euros a week. That's paid to you monthly in arrears for 2 years, or if the employee leaves you before the 2 years, the funding stops, obviously. But again, the process to inquire and engage in the whole thing is very simple. www.jobsplus.ie. All the registration is online. And within a day or two of you registering online, you'll receive your approval from the department. Similarly, your potential employee goes online, will receive notification as to what level of support they will bring. You agree to hire, they agree to start, form is sent to the department, you get notification that everything is approved and clear. And say for a Jobs Plus post agreed and finalised in March, the first payment would be paid to your bank account on the last Friday in April, so a month in arrears. It replaces all the other complicated schemes about PRSI refunds and things like that. It's a very, 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 very simple program to operate. And interestingly, the biggest, I don't have exact figures for what of the uptake, but certainly the biggest uptake for the scheme has been among small businesses, where numbers are growing from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, and 3 to 4, and so on. You know, where you want to engage, you feel your business merits hiring new staff, but you're reluctant to undertake the financial commitment that involves. But Jobs Plus certainly helps in that regard. And interestingly, just referring back to the JobBridge program that I mentioned, and 15 out of the 23 moving on to employment, the availability of Jobs Plus seems to have been a very major factor in employers deciding that they would undertake the recruitment of the person. Finally, should you be an employer that wishes to employ sort of people with disabilities equally, and who, because of the nature of their disability, their capacity might be limited, the department has a wage subsidy scheme that we can advise you on, and where we can also help with funding to help adapt workplaces and